On Monday, Giants owners John Mara and Steve Tisch took the extraordinary gesture, the measure of releasing a statement that said that they support Ben McAdoo as the Giants head coach, even though this team fell to the Niners on Sunday and it's now 1-8 on the season, and that they're not going to make any changes. At least it indicates they're not going to make any changes during the season. So what to take away from that statement? One, this was not a vote of confidence for Ben McAdoo. This was a vote of nothing. All the owners basically said in the statement was they're not expecting to make any changes in season. And that is something because, look, if Ben McAdoo had gotten fired in season, and I don't think anyone ever thought that was a really serious possibility, but it was kind of floated out there, that would have been unprecedented. The last Giants head coach to not make it through 2 full seasons was in 1930. Think about that. Now, look, it still looks very possible that McAdoo is going to end up being the first Giants coach to get fired after 2 seasons since Ray Handley in 91 and 92. That seems very much on the table. And if you read between the lines of this statement, that's basically what the owners are saying. Nothing's going to happen over the next 7 weeks, but come January 1st or 2nd, when the season ends, and obviously the Giants are not going to the playoffs, so the season is going to end on New Year's Eve against the Redskins at home, that there's going to be changes. And I think it's very clear there's going to be big changes coming down the pike. And look, there's 7 games to go. A lot of things can happen, but I think it's kind of hard to envision a scenario where Ben McAdoo somehow turns this thing around and saves his job going forward. I feel that, some people were saying this statement was a message to players. They need to play hard for McAdoo. He's going to be their head coach in the final 7 games. I don't buy that. If there was a message to send to these players that would have that sort of impact, it would have hit already. I mean, Ben McAdoo had one of his worst weeks as head coach with all the anonymous reports with ESPN, and the players stood up for him, and then they flew to San Francisco, Santa Clara, wherever the hell the game was played, faced an 0-9 football team that was abysmal, and they lost to them. And they got embarrassed by them. I mean, it was a 10-point game. It wasn't even that close. And, for McAdoo to sit there on a conference call and be trumpeting the fact that they cut it to a 10-point with a great drive at the end of the game against a Niners team that basically was already celebrating a victory, that just kind of summed up how out there this season has become. So look, I think the statement, all the statement basically did was say to reporters and columnists, stop writing the guy's going to get fired, because he's not going to get fired in season. Look, I still think there's no guarantee. They didn't guarantee that he's going to get the final 7 games. So I still think, it's out there. I think it's very unlikely, but I look to Thanksgiving. You're playing on national television, a short week against your oldest rival in the Redskins. The Giants have a humiliating no-show performance there. I don't know. I wonder if that could be a bridge too far. Because remember, they got an extra long week because they're playing on Thursday. So that would give it, an interim head coach, if he needed it more time to kind of get his feet under him. I think that's like a 0.5% chance of happening. No, don't see it happening. I think Ben McAdoo is going to coach the final 7 games. I don't see him going far beyond that. It could happen. He could somehow turn this around. The Giants could stun us all and keep him, but it just seems like it's not trending in that direction.